Coming up on Relatables.
My best friend is recently single and lately she has been sleeping around, which I'm all for. Although there has been multiple people that I have been with before that she would ask if she can go for them too. I always say yes because I genuinely don't care about them. Although, as the number goes up, I'm starting to feel really uncomfortable with it, even though I have no feelings for the guys whatsoever.
Jake and Artie, the Relatables party.
The Relatables podcast is hosted by myself, Jake Craig, a.k.a.
Daddy.
and my partner in crime, Oddie Clark, a.k.a. Mamazita.
Mamazita. That's me.
All right, Oddie.
Yes.
This episode, I would like to just bring something up. I wanted to start.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, the top line of the episode.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give two quick shout outs. All right. First quick shout out is to someone we know named Jordan Butler. Okay. He messaged me on Instagram, and because I follow him, mates, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, mate, like, I don't know if you know this, but Kyle and Jackie O mentioned you guys on their radio show.
What?
So big shout out to Kyle and Jackie O.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
How do we not know about it?
And because, I mean, well, I knew about it because he told me, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Right. And so he told me the episode because they obviously record their whole radio show every morning and then they post it as a podcast on Spotify.
Post-production, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I just wanted to... So shout out to Jordy Butler for letting us know, and then shout out to Colin Jackie O, I suppose. Not that I wouldn't say I'm a fan of them, but like they're a massive show.
I'm Godsmack though. How did we not know about this?
No one sent it to us apart from this is the only person.
Anyway, we'll take it.
So
I'm excited now.
I would, and basically, I'm going to play a snippet of what they...
How long were they talking about us for?
I don't know, maybe a minute or two.
Okay,
Not too long, but like they ended like what they brought up. The reason they brought us up, they ended up talking about for a while.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like about us. But I'm just excited to hear. Fuck.
But they say our names?
Well, no, they say the Relatables,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is nice of them.
Yeah.
Which is very nice of them. And I just don't even, I think I'm just going to fucking, so for anyone that doesn't know though, Kyle and Jackie O is the biggest radio show in Australia.
Yeah,
they have been for
massive.
years. They both get paid like $15 million a year. They have this insanely huge deal. Biggest radio show. I looked it up and I think per week they're getting, I don't know about like individual downloads, but per week they are getting over 1 million listens on the radio.
Crazy, yeah.
Per week. And they obviously do 5 a week in the morning radio. But yeah, I'm just going to play it. And I'm just going to play it.
Yeah, what?
You might find this interesting, guys.
Doubt it.
This is from the guys at the Relatables podcast.
No, definitely not.
And they asked their female listeners to list the subtle things girls do when they're into a guy. And I think you guys out there are going to be quite surprised at the things we do
I know
that
what
you
you
have
guys-
no idea is a sign that we're into you.
Yeah, because we don't read minds and we don't do the minute mini signals.
The music is just...
Yeah.
Signals need to
right.
be very
I know.
obvious. Like
I know.
stop-go people.
Yeah, I realise that. But yeah, let's listen, and then I will break it down a little bit further.
Subtle signs that they give when they like a guy. I'll leave my phone and purse at the table when I go to the bathroom.
Not picking up on that, no.
Touching his shoulder when laughing at his jokes.
Ignoring him, but being super engaged with his friends. Asking for his help.
The reason is because men have this weird ego thing. All right?
do.
They need to feel needed. I don't care what it is. If you're tall enough to reach said thing, pretend you're not.
Yeah.
If you're strong enough to open said jar, pretend you're not.
Yeah.
Something about it is like me knowing that you're giving me the thing that I know you're able to do makes me know that you like me because you want me to feel needed, and that's what a guy needs.
God, that guy, would he even get any pussy with all that thought?
And for anyone listening who doesn't know who Kyle and Jackie O are, they're known for, well, Kyle is for being very abrupt and
Oh yeah, like he's been
potentially R-rated.
the whole country's tried to cancel him so many times, and you can't cancel him. Like
You pussy.
I know, how funny is that comment?
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing ever. He's such a hater, and I love it.
That's wild, eh?
Yeah. I fucking.
Well, that's hyped me up, man. How good.
I know, and like afterwards, so Jackie O, she goes on to kind of just defend like what we were saying. She was like, no, like these are the thing, like this is the thing. And honestly, I don't listen to their show. I've listened to it when I was like a carpenter, like on the radio, but now because I just don't listen to radio anymore because like we don't do it. But like what he was saying was like it was making me laugh.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I was like, holy fuck.
What? It's just...
He's just like he's just unhinged, man.
Yeah. I think that's what makes him like famous. Like people don't agree with what he has to say, but it's entertaining, and not many people can pull that off.
I think, you know what? I think you're right. I think like I didn't agree with anything he says.
Yeah.
But I think just hearing someone say it out loud, I was like, what the? I was like, holy shit.
And everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah. It was, and then there's like other producers in there that they get to chime in, and all the guys are like, like they were like us, like we wouldn't get that at all.
How's the radio edit on it, bud?
I know, like radio edits are crazy.
I was like, is this us?
Yeah. When you hear the music, I was listening to it in a car. I listened to it on the way home from where I went on the weekend with Joanna and Beth in the car.
Yeah.
Because I told him about it. I hadn't listened to it yet. It was the first time I listened to it. And so live, I got to hear him say like, does this guy get any pussy, blah, blah, blah. And me, Joanna and Beth were dying
Tell you what we should do. We should try and get on the show. And
I was even saying like, I don't know if
the signals.
I was trying to say like, I don't even know if we would go on that show. To be fair, like it's the craziest show.
It's pretty rogue. I reckon we can hold our own, but
I think like,
I know what I stand for.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like as long as we don't let the intimidation of someone that's so much bigger than us, like get to us and cave and then be like, okay, you know what, you're right. Like we need to stick to what we believe in.
I've seen him interview people before, and he tries to like bait them.
He tries to bully him a bit.
Say what he wants him to say to like get the cancellation, like it's the good content there.
He also is like just a genius in the way of that he knows how to get listens. He knows what he's doing. I think he's a fucking genius.
I reckon it would be a great conversation. Yeah. We fight for the girly pops. We have so much more content.
Well, you, myself, and Jackie O, by the sounds of it. She was defending us.
We probably got to be 3 against 1 for Carl
true.
anyway.
I got to say, like, yeah, dude, the dude's a fucking...
There's so much more content we can defend him on too.
I mean, yeah, true. I wonder if we can
maybe not even defend, just show the insight into the like intricacies of dating.
Maybe,
and how much thought actually goes into it, and why Jake gets pussy.
Yeah, I want to show him that I do get pussy.
That's wild, man.
Well, just one, but it's a pussy. How good though.
But any publicity's good publicity. I think.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit. I think it's hilarious. Like it was even so funny. You can hear him when she goes, she's like, I don't know what she said. I think she said, I think you'll like this, and he goes, doubt it, and then she goes, this is from the Boys at the Relatables podcast, and he said something like, oh, I definitely won't like it. Something like that. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but it's just so funny. I'd love to fucking meet him in person to see if he's actually like that.
I wonder if he puts on a facade.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a character at all.
Or if he's mad chill, just outside of it.
Yeah, he's probably... I mean, I'd say on the radio he's more turned on. And like off the radio, he probably doesn't even like to talk, to be fair.
Yeah, he'd probably have a lot of knowledge we could get out of him to become better hosts. Not even though we don't want to go on the same avenue. Just like...
No, well, we don't have to be the same person.
He's a great host.
Yeah,
for entertainment. I'm sure he's got some wisdom in him.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to start the pod, man. That's hyped me up a bit.
I know. How funny.
Like random and funny.
I know. It's just... when he said it, I was like, no, my poor heart.
At least we're not getting roasted.
Nah. I mean,
well, you are, but I'm not.
I mean, yeah, he roasted me, but I mean, I don't really give a shit. So,
yeah.
But the next thing that I wanted to talk about, all right, is we spoke about. I don't know how long ago, but we spoke about. We did a segment about something about like. Oh no, I don't know what it was, but it was like you said someone sent in. We did like an IG question, and you sent in, or someone sent in, and you read it. I want you to be able to find the G-spot. I don't want you to just be like a jackrabbit.
Yes,
and then we were like, well, where the fuck is it? Blah, blah, blah. I swear it changes every time.
Yes, I remember.
We were like, but how? We got sent an email from someone.
Yeah.
Right?
How to find the G-spot.
Let me actually... do you want to hear the title of this email? Friendly G-spot info. in brackets, it's actually fake.
What?
Listen up.
Sometimes I wish we had like a 90% male audience. Not because I want more male like people listening, just so we can advise them.
Yeah, facts.
Like I love I love our girly pop fans, but like to tell them.
Spread the word, we need to advise.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to be fair, like maybe a lot of the girls don't know this.
It's their body, surely.
So hello, Jake and Oddie. Fan of the pod from the States, currently in Nebraska.
Let's go.
A little about me. I'm a 31-year-old female in the USAF. Don't know what that is. And y'all make me feel positive about this next generation of men who will hopefully be more empathetic and able to express emotions. I heard one of your latest episodes where a girl wrote in expecting men to be able to find the G spot. And I just want you and your listeners to know that it is debated on whether or not it even exists. No one can conclusively find one magic spot. Ooh. A brief history of the G spot. A German gynecologist, all right? A German gynecologist in the 1950s believed he had found an area in the interior of the vagina that greatly enhanced female pleasure. In 1981, researchers seemed to agree with his findings that there was a general area and named it after him, thus coining it the Grafenberg spot or G spot.
So I can call it the Grafenberg spot.
You can, that's technically correct. However, after a session like, how'd I find that Grafenberg? Oh, that's terrible, bro. Okay. However, media then began portraying this to the masses that there was one conclusive G spot. But research is inconclusive and debated. From life and learning, I truly believe there is no magic spot that will guarantee an orgasm for every woman. So, I'm sorry to all the ladies, but you all have different needs and it's unfair to expect your partner to know what's going to work for you. We all just have to communicate and give people a little grace when they don't get it right the first time. Your millennial friend of the pod, Erin. P.S. If the youths are using G-spot in more of a slang way to say like, my spot, then disregard everything. Lol. So basically she was just protecting herself in case everyone was using it as slang.
That's what we concluded. Obviously, every girl's Grafenberg spot is
different.
Obviously.
But, so they're all different. But I think what she's getting at is that
it's not actually a spot. It moves around.
It's a general area that you may not hit every time. But here's the thing, actually, thinking about it.
To be fair, it's not, maybe this is good. It's not always there.
Well, I don't know the way you took this, but the way that I'm thinking of this is like, it would be harder, right, to find a spot because if it's small, it would be harder to find. But a general area is in everyone else's head, I hope, as well as mine. It's more of like a general area, a bigger area.
Yeah.
So how the fuck are we missing it?
Okay, this might be extremely dumb.
Yeah.
But this is the logic in a boy's brain. In my mind, the spot, I don't know what sort of shape it is. Let's say it's a circle for argument's sake. When you initially start sex, tiny. Maybe the size of like a fingernail.
Okay.
And you're not finding it, right?
Yep, I know.
But as the session goes on, you both get more horny. Yep. In particular, she gets more horny.
Yep.
You're hitting some good spots, it's feeling good. In my mind, that fingernail starts to grow.
Okay.
50-cent piece.
Yep.
Bigger, you start hitting it more. It gets even bigger.
You can't miss.
Maybe it goes the size of a fucking tennis ball. Who knows?
Oh.
And that's when the orgasm happens. That's how it worked in my brain. And that's why it's harder to find sometimes because it's the basis of how horny they are and if you're hitting the right spots. But that's could be completely wrong.
No, it could be completely wrong. It's a good analogy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think it's a good way to think.
Yeah. And you try and build that spot up so it gets bigger.
Yeah, and it's like well now I need to make her horny.
Yeah.
I am really one thing I think I want to know is
I was just gonna say Kyle would be like, what are these guys thinking about? It's just fucking sex.
No, Kyle, we actually want to think about this, all right? This is an in-depth conversation about something, all right? But no, seriously.
You've either got it or you don't as a dude. And these two boys, they don't got it.
Yeah, you've either got it or you don't. And these fuckers don't have it.
Yeah, especially that Jake bloke.
Get him in this fucking all that thinking. What's he talking about? 50-cent pieces growing up? Just make her fucking horny, you pussy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Imagine that's the way that you genuinely thought. Nothing against him. I don't know. He's a human being, I guess. Fuck each to their own.
It's got to be a facade, though.
Oh, mate. Okay, but seriously, I think I liked how she said, like, you just gotta communicate. Like, if a guy thinks he's found it, then and he hasn't found it.
It's funny. I was having a similar conversation with my girlfriend the other day. Normally, when you're having sex with someone, they normally say, if you're hitting it, they're like, keep going, I'm going to come.
Yeah.
Something like that. And we had a conversation about that. I'm like, sometimes, like, you got to give me, like, a time or, like, the pace or what pace I have to go to keep going there. Yeah, because if you say, the more communication, the better. Because if you say, keep going, like, I'm going to come, to me, in my mind, as any male, that thinks, like, I'm thinking, like, 10 seconds. But sometimes it's fucking minutes.
Yeah. She's like, if you keep going like this for 10 more minutes, I will come.
Yeah.
But it's like, you think I'm going to last 10 more minutes? That's crazy.
It's like, that's not helpful for me. The more communication, the better. Even though it's not that sexy, like, go faster for like 10 more seconds and I'm there. Like, go slow it down for a minute and then I'm there. Even though that's not that sexy. As a guy hearing that, then you can mentally prepare your body for what you're about to do, because sometimes I hear like, keep going, I'm about to come. I'm thinking, thank God, like 10 seconds.
Me too.
Yeah.
Same.
That's literally what a guy's, like, that's what a guy's thinking. And she's like, oh, that's interesting.
Also, those words,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm about to come,
yeah.
Even if you're not feeling the urge, you feel the urge now.
Yeah, and sometimes your body gives up too, like your hips are going or you're like, you're fatigued.
Yeah, the hip flexors are sore, mate.
Like, something's going on.
Oh, shit. What am I'm trying to think as well, like, I asked my girlfriend the other day, because I said to her, like, let's say we're about to go somewhere and we had to be there. We had to leave in 5 minutes. But for some reason, we just had to have sex.
Yeah.
Right? We just had to.
Every relationship's had that.
It just had to have sex.
It's better to be late.
Facts.
Yeah.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
I'd rather be late and relaxed than early and stressed.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
And horny. Early, stressed, and horny.
Yeah, we'd be leaving early, by the way. We'd rather rock up late and stay the whole time.
Yeah.
And I said to her, like, every time we do it, I am, like, from the very start, like, it's like, every now and then I feel really good and I'm like, can control it.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's times where you can't, so you really try to last as long as you can. You might only last, like, I don't know, 5 minutes or something like that. But I've said to her, she asked me, I think she asked me, how quick could you do it if you wanted to do it? And I was like 2 pumps. I swear to God. I swear to God, I'm not even fucking lying. I was like, if you really wanted me to, I could last less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And she was like, really? Can you do it one time? And I still haven't done it.
Yeah.
And
you
I asked
pressure
her,
on yourself now, man.
And I asked her,
you should
like,
do it and not say anything.
True, I should be like, I should do it unplanned. And then she's like, what was that? And I was like, you asked. Just gaslight her. You asked. Yeah. But I asked her, like, how quickly do you think you could? And I mean, all she said was like, oh, I'm pretty quick. Like, I don't know how. I think she was trying to be nice, to be fair, but I do want to, like, one day I want to just be like, surprise me with doing it really fast. Because I see, like, to be fair, like,
it's a compliment either way.
Yeah.
But an interesting thing I find being in a relationship and, like, also having sex with someone is, like, understanding each other's sex drive, but also understanding how each other get horny, which is very, very important in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because most guys, like, a kiss, they're ready to go. But for a lot of girls, it's understanding that they need a lot more, and when they're not in the mood, they're not in the mood.
Yeah.
And you don't have to push the boundary all the time.
Yeah.
Especially being like an 18-year-old kid. Like, I was ready to go at the fucking looking at a girl.
Oh my God.
Like,
don't even get me started. You just get so horny.
You see a girl you like and you're like, fuck, well, yep, it's on. But, like, growing up now and, like, being with a partner for a while, it's just like, I might be in the mood, but I don't know, we're kissing and I'm in the mood. But it takes a lot more for a girl to get in the mood, and I've got to understand that and then pull back a little bit and be like, oh yeah, that's fine.
I'm just like, should we blink?
Yeah, like literally. And yeah, it's honestly the best thing is just
I know what you mean.
Saying like, oh, do you want to have sex? She's like, oh no, I'm not in the mood, and having that safe environment where it's okay to say no. Because I feel like growing up,
I've never given I feel like I wanted to and they didn't want to. I don't think I've ever been like, oh yeah. I've always just been like, okay.
Yeah, fair. And I feel like some people feel the need to please sometimes, and they do it sometimes when they're not in the mood, which you should never have to do. And it's about building that safe environment, I think, which you learn growing up, but the earlier you do that, I don't know, like 18 and 19, a lot of people obviously like the person want to have sex with them, but in that time and moment, they don't want to, but they're like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. No, 100%. I see what you mean.
Yeah. You're never ever both going to be in the exact same mood all the time.
Nah, it's impossible, eh? Like,
Yeah.
and imagine the biggest thing I always think is because you get tired from work or something.
Yeah.
And like, you're not, one of you is in the mood and one of you isn't. And that's pretty common, maybe not as common, but all I think about is as soon as you have kids, man,
Must be tough.
like you've got, okay, like you get your wife pregnant. She does this crazy thing. Can't believe they can fucking do it where they grow a human in 9 months.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like an alien.
In fucking insane. Like, holy shit. And then after it, the kid like needs the mum constantly. Like the dad, obviously, I guess it needs the dad. I don't know if actually, let's be real, it doesn't need the dad. It needs the mum. The dad's just there
it's
loving
nice.
it because it can.
Nice for support.
Like, yeah. It's just a little bit extra support. But like, so it's probably like another full year of just like, the kid, that fucking baby needs the mum to live.
I've seen a lot of things where talking about the dads not being needed there. They obviously are. But
Oh, yeah. But
I've
like the
seen
baby doesn't necessarily need the dad.
yeah, I've seen a lot of
Or maybe they
things
do, I
where
don't know.
guys, like these new age dads, like don't know how to love their kid, or it feels like a roommate more than a baby. Have you been seeing this?
Whoa, no, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
there's a couple of people that came out with it, and like it's meant to be this joyful, like the best thing that ever happens to you, which like that's what we expected to happen. But
Yeah.
it's like some famous people were coming out and just like I didn't know how to act. Like it's
Whoa.
we're just like told to figure it out.
Yep.
Where this baby comes into the world and you have to care for it, and you're like, whoa, like what's going on here? And like that love that you expected isn't always there.
That's such a, I never thought of that. So like sometimes like a baby might reject the dad because it wants the mum so
But not
much.
even that. It doesn't even know what's going on. And
No, well, it's not very, it's like,
we have this expectation that I'm going to love this thing like through and through. And like a lot of men are coming out saying, like, I just don't feel the way I thought I was going to feel.
that's crazy. I've never seen videos like that.
It was
really.
It was. I don't want to quote
And
exactly what he said.
do you mean
It-
like, did they say like, I kind of had to fall in love with it?
pretty much? It was PewDiePie
Yeah.
said it. He said the first year was the hardest year of his life, and then
Really?
it was Jack from Hamish and Andy. Don't quote exactly what I said. He went on the Imperfects podcast and talked about like the first couple months of having a baby and the struggles of it, and it was around the same conversation. It was actually very eye opening.
I might listen to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
A very interesting conversation. And it's like something you just don't know or feel will happen when you have a kid.
No, because you expect that you're going to be absolutely
Well,
head
you
over heels in
expect as
love
soon
with
as you
this
see
thing.
that thing, I'm sure a lot of people just see it, boom.
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
But some people, it makes sense also like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Your body needs time to adjust,
Holy shit, fair. Wow.
which is like interesting and scary, but also one of the things that like, I feel like people would be scared to say that. So it's very important for people to voice that.
We should ask our dads.
Yeah.
Did you love me like so
They're
much
always
straight
gonna say
away?
yeah now, but I
I
don't
want to
know.
just like be honest. Like when you first fucking
It's sort of a
saw me.
taboo thing to say because you can't say to like, fuck, it's like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what to feel towards it. But it's also like falling in love, like with a partner for the first time. All these emotions are there and you don't know how to deal with them. It's the same thing.
Fuck, that's scary. That's just one more thing I now think about
Yeah.
with having kids. Like, what if I don't like my kid?
I think you just fall in love with it, like you said.
Yeah.
But that initial couple months are like, oh, whoa, what's going on? Humans have this mindset where like, it'll be right. Like, I'll figure it out.
True, we do have that type of mindset.
When like in reality, we've never done it before. Like, where's this expectation
Yeah.
that I'm going to fall in love with it immediately?
Everyone's just living life for the very first time.
Yeah.
That's like one thing I've for some reason been remembering a lot lately is that every single person is living life for the first time. So if someone's making a mistake and it's the first time they've ever made said mistake, or maybe they knew it was a mistake, like maybe they knew it was the wrong thing to do, but also like the whole thing about learning is like when you're a kid, you fall down to learn how to get back up.
Yeah.
Like if you
It's-
make a little mistake as an adult, like fuck, let yourself live because just remind yourself that this is the first time you've been on this planet.
Yeah, and it's weird. This weird social media platform we've built has made people who have a following not be able to make mistakes,
Facts.
which is like not human nature. Like I get they're in a position to influence people and they should be saying all the right things, but
Yeah.
everyone should be able to realize that like they haven't done this before either. Like they're going to be doing their best way to fucking do everything right, but they're human. Like they're going to fucking fall down and they got to figure it out when they get back up.
Like, for instance, let's say with the podcast, you should be allowed to say, like, you should be allowed to believe one thing, right? And that thing could be wrong. And then you get let known arguments as to why it's wrong. And you should be allowed to change your mind. Like what you thought of something at one point in your life shouldn't define you for the rest of your life. Like you should be allowed to change your mind and be like, I've actually changed my thoughts on this.
Oh, 100%. And there's definitely, I see the argument's sake where there's a fine line behind like a dictator type person who says my way or the highway.
Yeah.
But I think if there's two people having a conversation and their opinion comes out openly and like, this is what I think, and then all this information comes in, you're like, oh, actually, I've realized that I was wrong, and you can admit when you're wrong. That's when it should be okay to make mistakes.
That's such a good point. Yeah.
It's human nature.
What happened in the world where, there's now these people that just aren't allowed to make mistakes?
It's like, it's weird.
I mean, I can understand maybe like a politician's held on a pretty high pedestal. Fair.
Yeah.
You know, but still, they're going to make mistakes. They're fucking human.
Levels to it, like like obviously if it affects other people, like it goes further than just that person saying something wrong. But if your favorite fucking famous person says, I don't know, something wrong about fucking how he finds his girlfriend's G-spot, like that's fine.
I mean, yeah, exactly. To be fair, that's fine.
And then he gets corrected and says, there actually isn't one spot, mate. Like there's this thing, this build up.
Yeah.
And like it moves around and it's different every person. He's like, oh, wow, like I didn't know. Like, I'm sorry I didn't educate myself properly. That's fine. But then there's 15 news articles written on this guy saying like, fucking Jake Craig doesn't know how to find
Yeah, there's a headline. Jake Craig can't find girlfriend's G-spot. Yeah. Poor girl. Yeah. Carl Sanderlands roasts.
It's just...
Carl Sanderlands offers to teach.
Yeah.
Like...
It's just funny, and I don't know, life is just weird concept that everyone hasn't done before, and we just got to figure it out.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, baddies. Time for a dilemma.
Let's go.
You know what to do. If you want to send one in, they're all anonymous. You can do it in the link in the description of this video or the link in the bio of our Instagram. Click the Comeo and you scroll down, you do it. Okay. My best friend is recently single and lately she has been sleeping around, which I'm all for. Although there has been multiple people that I have been with before that she would ask if she can go for them too. I always say yes.
It's a relatable dilemma, this.
I always say yes because I genuinely don't care about them. Although, as the number goes up, I'm starting to feel really uncomfortable with it, even though I have no feelings for the guys whatsoever. Sometimes we have argued over guys because we have both been with them before, and even though I tell her I'm okay with it, it's starting to make me lose my trust in her. What do you guys think? How should I talk to her about this?
Ooh, okay.
Initially, when I read it the first time, right, I was thinking like, oh, well, maybe like you just haven't accepted that you do like some of these guys.
Nah.
But what I'm starting to get at, like in my head after reading it at the end was like, she's losing trust in her because maybe she's thinking like, what if I get a boyfriend and all of a sudden she just wants to sleep with that guy because we've been switching guys, you know? Like,
I just think that her friend isn't respecting her boundaries.
But she asks.
I still don't think that's respectful.
Really?
Asking is one thing, but if you slept, say we're both single and you slept with a couple girls and then I somehow was talking to them on a night out and I knew you slept with them, or you're like, oh, I slept with her like a month ago already. I'd be like, oh, sorry, man, didn't know, that's off limits.
Really?
I don't.
What if I didn't care? Because she's saying she doesn't care. Because like in the friend's defense, she's saying she doesn't care at all.
There's that many fucking people in the world. Why are you sleeping? Why do you want to have sex with someone that your best friend has also had sex with someone and made a connection? I don't care if feelings aren't there. I just think out of respect, I shouldn't do it because you went there first.
I mean, look, fair.
But I feel like I value my friendship. Like she said, how do I bring this up with the friend? I would say,
oh, after you go, I got something.
I would say, hey, I know you keep asking me if you want to have sex with the people that I've already had sex with, which is fine. And I'm voicing how I feel and I don't have any feelings for them, which is okay. But I feel like it's like stepping on a line where you're taking it too far and you're not respecting my boundaries at all.
Yep.
Or are you not respecting our friendship?
Very similar. I was going to say it could be as easy as sitting her down and just bring it up like, hey, like I know I've told you I'm okay with it and I don't like the guys. Like I don't want to be with them, but I think for the sake of our friendship, we just shouldn't go for the same guys.
It's simple.
I think like, and
it's making things dirty and tricky.
Yeah. You know, I think that's not a big ask because like you said, there is so many people in the world.
It's not a big ask at all. And I think the person sending in this dilemma is questioning whether or not her emotions are valid because she doesn't have feelings for him. And I think they are completely valid.
Yeah, to me, that's...
To feel this icky way, even though you don't have feelings for this guy and your friend's sleeping with all of them. Like, I just don't see I'm just immediately, if Jake slept with a girl, I'm also kind of turned off him. Like, not as they're not attractive, but like they become more of like a friend or a sibling rather than someone that I find attractive.
I'm trying to think. We've never slept with the same person.
No. And if we did,
I don't think I have with anyone I know.
No, I know like it's friends of friends, but not like friends.
No, yeah, not someone that's in your kind of close, tight group, yeah.
Oh, no, I know someone you have actually.
Oh, okay. Right. Who was there first?
What?
Who was there first?
Not you.
Oh,
no,
shit.
you actually were there first.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you go.
No, I got my timelines mixed
There
up.
you
Yeah, you
go.
were there first.
Because I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Sorry. And I think that's a good dilemma to bring up with your friend and say, like, look, I value our friendships. Just let's not make the things dirty and have sex with each other's body counts who we've had sex with.
Like, to you and I, it sounds like the easiest thing in the world.
But some people, some friendships, guys and girls, really value sex a lot higher than the friendship. Like, a lot of people will rather flick the bean and have some fun
there, Kyle.
than fucking have our like relationship as friends.
I mean, you're so right. On a night out, like...
I know plenty, especially dudes do. I'm sure the girls are the same. I just know dudes do it.
Dudes are probably more
because they're
prevalent.
I'm exposed to dudes, but like that many dudes will throw like their mates under the bus to have sex.
Honestly, 100%.
They talk shit. They fucking go behind their backs. They do all this tricky business just to get some. When in reality, I think people should be valuing their friendships a lot higher than said sex, especially if your friends. I could understand if the friend having sex with him said, "Do you care if I sleep with so-and-so? I'm beginning to get feelings for them."
Ooh, okay.
Then I would be like,
I see it going somewhere.
Yeah, then I would be like, oh, okay. No, I don't have feelings for him. Like, go ahead. I'm glad you checked.
Yeah, we had a one-night stand. Like, it was nothing. Like, yeah.
I'm glad you checked. But if she's just doing it also because she's on a glow-up era, which is completely fine, her baddie era, having sex with people, finding herself again.
Yeah,
I think you should just go to a fucking different club and have sex with other random dudes.
Yeah, bring it up with her. Just say to her, look, to protect our friendship, I value it so much. I think we should not sleep with the same people. Saying it out loud, it's just not a big ask.
No, not at all.
It's just really not a big ask.
No.
But you have to say it just like not in an attacking way. Just be like, I think don't tell her that she's disrespecting you or anything like that. I think you have to say it because it's just I think you should just be like, I'm feeling affected, but I prefer our friendship over the fact.
Yeah. I think that's so fair.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys are in the Facebook group,
fucking
let us know because we feel like it's fair.
Honestly. If she doesn't see it's fair and she doesn't value the friendship as much as you do, I think that's a win finding out as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
If she says, no, I want to have sex with him, then be like, oh, well, like, I thought we had something a bit more special here. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, get toxic. Start getting with like real hot dudes that she can't get with. Oh shit! No, that's mean.
All right, Jake. Not on purpose, we have become a word that I don't like.
Ooh, okay.
Influencers.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, it's just a category of what. Like, I'd prefer to say I'm a podcaster.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We started out wanting to be podcasters.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we are.
Which we are, yes. And
Yeah.
as a subsequent, which we're very fortunate to be in the position, we have become influencers due to our social media following on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
And there's this weird world that we live in that some reason influencers don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, what is with that? I mean, like, I guess no one really likes to talk about their own, like, I guess your salary or like just all the nitty gritty.
But you can tell you can tell people how it works. People don't even like. There's one thing that I'm realizing in life is a lot of the information you have you take for granted, and people don't know it, and like you just keep that information to yourself. Like me being a PT, I take some of that information I have for granted, and some people could benefit from that information. Yep. So I thought me and Jake could have a good riveting conversation about being open about the influencer world and brand deals and how everything works And just, I feel like it'd be such a good, interesting conversation. Also, like tips for growing on social media.
Yeah.
Because we've done it.
Yeah, I always do say, like, people will ask us, we get questions about just questions about maybe what we're doing to grow the podcast or how to grow a podcast.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that we are in the middle of that right now. Like I say, like, we now understand how to gain a following on social media. And we want to have a really big podcast. And it's not that we don't, like, we love it and appreciate everything, and we think we have a great podcast. But I always say to people, like, yeah, we know social media, that's like what we do, but now we're working on how to learn how to make the podcast bigger.
Yeah, and they're two different entities. So there's social media and then there's a podcast, and that line often gets blurred a lot of the time, and it's the same thing when it's really two completely different industries that don't even talk to each other.
Not really, like a little, like, sometimes, but not really.
Yeah, and I bet heaps of people listening either want to grow their personal pages or is just interested in finding out how the industry works.
I find, do you reckon, like, maybe people don't want to give insights on the industry because then it's like
competition,
you say, like,
or some shit.
Maybe competition or like they think that, I don't know. I don't feel like anyone's saying, like, oh, you guys don't deserve the money you make would affect me at all, because, like, they don't know the work that went into it. Like, maybe some people don't want to disclose that they feel like they're making quite a bit of money for not doing that much work, but they don't think about, like, all the work that went into growing the page or something like that.
Yeah, they don't understand, like, where the money comes from. But also, like, fuck that. Like, I'm also just want to tell them because they can do whatever they want with the information, and it's going to help. I'm more happy helping one person and a couple of people getting angry because someone's making a lot of money, which we're not making heaps of money.
No, compared to some, man, holy shit. Like, okay, well, what should we start with then?
I was going to, do you want to start with how to grow pages and then go into the background information of how to make money on social media?
Sure, yeah, we can give what we know.
Yeah. So the first tip, I'm kind of happy to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Is honestly, you hear it all the time though, is consistency.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day, actually, if someone was to say to me, like, what should I do? Or if maybe, I don't know, a podcast that's not as big as ours came to us and was like, what do you think we should do? And I would, like, the hardest, the genuinely, it's so fucking lame. I reckon you'd agree, but the hardest part is, like, just growing the confidence to be able to just, like, start posting.
Well, that's also what I was going to say. I had a conversation with someone the other day who was trying to grow his page.
Yeah.
And Jake and I got lucky in the fact that we had each other. So we had this little safety bubble around us where our mindsets individually also didn't care what people think.
Yeah.
But also this safety bubble of having each other and each other being delusional in this goal we had helped not let outsiders' perspective ruin our goal of becoming a really good podcast.
Yeah.
So we just started posting and not giving a fuck what people think, which is a lot harder for an individual out there. But the first thing is, like, not caring what people think and also realizing that you are the person to make the content you want to make. A lot of people think, like, oh, my voice isn't important. Like, why should I make a fitness page? Why should I make a beauty page? Like, I'm not the most beautiful. I'm not the fucking fittest. But if you have a passion about that, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's just like getting out of this bubble of what other people think and posting every single day.
Yeah, as much as you can.
Yeah.
I reckon, like, of anything, I do think that the best thing you can do is actually, to post every day.
It is, and it seems like a lot. You just have to set up a system in a way where you can get content out that isn't overly draining.
Yeah, I also think, like, there was probably times where, there's been so many times where maybe I'd go to post a clip for the podcast, and I didn't even like the clip. But I think that, like, it does something for you when you're learning of, like, at least I got it out. Like, I said I'd post, so I posted. And then also, like, if you don't like this said clip, it also just kind of helps you maybe say, like, maybe if I edited a clip and I didn't like it and we thought it was going to be good, and I can come to Audie and be like, look, this actually, it's fucking shit. Like,
yeah. And
then, like, just kind of, you learn that, like, what you do and don't like and stuff like that. And I had a question, actually. I went on a road trip the other day, and I did a question box on my Instagram. I didn't answer the question. I wish I did. But one of the questions was, how do you gain confidence posting and being yourself on social media? because like I guess like on my stories and maybe if I ever post a TikTok, I'm pretty rare these days. But we just be ourselves. Like we don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean the answer is like at the start I was fucking terrified, hated it. If I went back and watched early videos of the podcast or early videos on my own TikTok page, I'd fucking hate them. Let me tell you.
It's literally just time and being exposed to what you're doing.
100%.
Like, at the start, you're going to be bad at it.
You're going to fucking suck at it.
Yeah.
And okay. Your content's not going to mean anything.
Yeah.
It's going to mean something to you maybe. But like it's not going to mean anything for the longest time because like it's going to take a while for you to find your voice.
Yeah.
You know, like your personality might even change or might flourish even more. I don't know.
It took us like
ages. It feels like ages.
Maybe I would say over 12 months to figure out this version of the podcast where we give a male's perspective on females' like lives and also like be a voice to up the quality of men in the world.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. Like at the start, it was to normalize. I think that's a good thing, a good point to have is with your content, even if it's shit or you just want to start, have a good meaning behind it. That always helps.
Yeah, that helps because it also just helps you, makes you feel like
it feels like it's got a purpose. And ours was to normalize men being able to talk about their feelings.
Yeah.
And that grew into this version of the pod that which we have now. But if you asked me 2 years ago before we started, if we would be talking about the stuff we were talking about, I would be like, oh, fuck, I got no idea, man.
No, yeah, and also if you go back and listen to the early episodes, I would say they're probably not really anything like they are now.
No.
Like we changed heaps.
We grow and like we grow as people as well as the content grows. And the stuff we want to talk about changes.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I'm sure if we keep the potty in 30 years, we're going to be talking about like fucking...
different shit.
Fishing,
we might turn into a news podcast. Who knows what we'll fucking turn into?
Yeah, so
that's the thing is you evolve because like the podcast evolves with the humans you are because we started it 2 years ago and we're different people to who we are 2 years ago.
Yeah. So I think first tip is being consistent. Second tip is realizing that you're going to be shit and you got to post no matter what because that's going to improve your confidence and the level of quality of content you're putting out there. Just over time, you just get better. And the final tip, it seems so simple, but also like all those tips seem simple. Like obviously you've got to post all the time.
Yeah, it's all easier said than done.
Realizing that numbers of other people aren't a reflection of how much work you're putting in. So say social media is this weird world where if I get 100 views or 1,000 views, that's not perceived as good because you're not getting the next viral video. But it's realizing that I remember when we first started the pod, like we got 150 listens. I was stoked. That's 150 people.
Yeah, I think our first episode got something like 40 and we were like, whoa, 40 people listen to this? And then it would like slowly like start to go up a bit. And I think at one point maybe we were getting like 360.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, fucking oath, like that's
360 people. And you really strip it back for what it is. And if you get, I don't know, 100 likes and 1,000 start, and that 100 people in a room liked your video.
Imagine if 100 people came up to you and said, I like you.
Yeah.
That's a fucking, 100 people's crazy.
It's adding a human side to your social media and realizing that like, don't get like let down and your motivation leave because you aren't getting 100,000, 200,000, 1 million views every time. Think about it in like a human way that 100 people or even 10 people like your video. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
and if
social media is so fake, man. If 15 people like your video, you're like, oh, that's fucking obviously the shittest video ever. We do it.
Yeah.
We're guilty of it. It's like the shit. Obviously, it's a shit video, but 15 people coming up to you in the street and saying I like you is like when you think about it, like it's a lot.
And last tip before we get into I don't know how business works is that social media is a lot of luck.
Oh yes,
is a lot of luck.
Yep,
but you have to be in it to win it.
Yep.
So if you see someone and be like, oh, I wish I could be them, I wish I could be that, then why aren't you posting? Like, honestly, if you keep putting content out there, like us, we don't know what's going to blow up. No one knows what's blowing up. You can give tips on the algorithm, you can do anything, but it's a lot of luck.
Yeah.
And if you're in it, you can win it. So if you consistently post, that's how you can be successful.
That's how you learn, because like, yeah, you could have 10 shit videos and one good one. You're like, okay, well, why was it that one good? And again, though, it is like the very first time we had a viral video, I remember that hit 1 million. We were fucking losing our minds. Oh my God, I wish we were happier then than a video hitting like 10 million now, if it ever does. It hasn't happened for a while, but like we were so stoked. And thinking back on it, not even for a second, I don't even think for 1 second did we like ask ourselves like, oh, Like, obviously, that was a good video. What made it go viral?
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Because we were just like, fuck yeah, like, let's just keep doing what, obviously what we're doing's right. And then it took fucking like months and months for it to happen again. And we were like, okay, well, what made this one go viral? And again, it's random luck of the algorithm. Like, I just don't base hard work. Like, we could work for fucking hours on a clip that we think is going to be sick.
It's a funny world.
It was so funny thinking back on it.
And honestly, we could have probably cut 6 to 12 months off our time if we realized what worked good in that video and why it worked good. And now we sort of know a little bit more, but we still don't know everything.
I wouldn't change it, eh?
Yeah,
like,
neither.
it's
a journey.
experience.
What's the cliche saying? It's not about the end goal, it's about the journey.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, thinking about us getting our first million views, our best friend Jack, who lived under us at the time, was coming upstairs every 10 minutes when I was going like 800K, 850K.
Yeah, he came out and then you'd scroll and it'd refresh and he'd be like, it's another 1,000 every,
and
1,000 a
then he
minute.
came up at like 980 and we sat on the couch and then we all went in our pajamas and got hyped.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's a beautiful core memory. And obviously, it's not always about fucking hitting a million views or anything, but
Nah, it was just fun.
it was very fun. And
Nah,
I think
we don't care now.
the best
as
thing
much,
about
which
social
is
media
good.
is that like it gives you the opportunity like nothing else could to monetize your passions,
Yeah.
which is very, very exciting.
True, yeah. A lot of people say, like, if you want to be happy, do what you're passionate about. And the best way to do that these days is to actually fucking try and get a social media following.
Yeah,
To be
which
completely honest, if you want to sell something
like
or
some
if you
people
want
don't
to be
agree
an
with that,
influencer.
but that's what the world's coming to.
Yeah, true. I mean, and you don't have to agree with it. Like, that's just our opinion,
Yeah.
to be fair.
And then the other side of things is business.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's probably a bit of a misconception that we're ballers,
Yeah, I probably, like...
but
no, I think we're just, like, normal.
yeah. So there's
Which
a
is
couple.
sick.
There's a couple.
So sick.
Yeah, it's very sick that we get to do this for a living.
Yeah.
But there's a couple avenues of income. First one is that we don't have the TikTok Creator Fund. Otherwise, we would be ballers.
That's actually, that is, like, it's crazy. If we had the TikTok Creator Fund, I think we would be, we'd be different
set.
people.
But
We'd be fucking... we'd be different people.
yeah, we use Instagram and TikTok. Think of it as like a funnel. So
Yeah.
TikTok is the best platform that has exposure.
To get eyes.
So this is also like, say our podcast is our brand. So if you have a clothing brand or any type of, I don't know, brand out there, beauty brand, think of our podcast as your brand. The funnel at the top of it is TikTok because it has the best exposure. So that's like getting eyes on relatables, and you need a couple point of contact before people actually commit to listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
So the first one is TikTok, where we get views.
Yeah.
And then we also get, if we get a brand deal on TikTok, we're going to give them figures, ballpark.
Yeah, it's like when you have a big page, like it's thousands of dollars, but
Yeah.
it's under $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And different brands pay for different things depending on what they want. And some brands want a lot more, so you charge more. And some brands give you all creative freedom and they charge a lot less.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if giving figures is good or bad. To be honest with you, like if we do, because like with brands in the future we work with, we want to be able to get the most money out of them.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it doesn't really matter because like another thing. So to finish off your funnel thing is the way we look at it. I don't know if this is correct. This is the way we look at it. Is the top of your funnel is TikTok. It's the biggest one where they get the most eyes, and then you want to try and transfer them from TikTok to Instagram. And then you want to go...
Instagram become fans because they actually follow you on their page. Their stuff pops up on their page because they care.
Yeah. And then you want to go from Instagram. That's where you will try and get them to go from Instagram to become an actual listener for the podcast, or from Instagram to maybe your website if you're trying to sell something. And then if we can get them to the podcast, it's up to us to keep them there. And then the end goal for us is actually to get, obviously, lots of podcast listeners, but then the end goal for us is to try and transfer them to them Patreon, where they pay for the content.
Yes.
And so that's our funnel. And then to get them to YouTube's, it's slightly different, but it's a similar thing. Like, it's all like, we think of it as funnels.
Yeah. And like in an ideal world, if that funnel worked perfectly, like we go from like 800,000 on TikTok to 300K on Instagram to like, I think we have 60,000 followers on Spotify.
Yeah.
For the podcast listeners.
Yeah.
So you can see how the funnel really starts to like less water goes through and less water goes through.
Yeah.
And then in an ideal world, because some brands like you don't always want to have too many brands on your page because it looks like you're a sellout.
Yeah.
And like in an ideal world, our Patreon would pay for us to do this. So we make the best content possible. Also, brand deals take away from us making content because we're building it for other people's brand, which we're appreciative of, which is good.
100%.
It's a good thing. But in an ideal world, this funnel works perfectly and Patreon pays for us to talk to you guys.
Yeah. That would be ideal.
Yeah. And in the background, like the backside of us, the good thing about our business model is because we're a podcast, we edit. Like, so it's like a full-time job of editing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Whereas like if anyone's an influencer or something like that, not taking anything away from them, they don't have that like core of editing.
Yeah.
So they have this like free time where they have to think of videos to do.
Yep.
Ours is more of a job. Whereas I don't want to speak. I'm sure they do a lot of shit behind.
Oh
the scenes.
yeah, no, the 100% they do. They do a lot of shit, but also like even our manager when we were in Korea,
Yeah.
she was in Korea with us, and she was talking about it. She was like, "You guys are lucky because if the internet died tomorrow, or let's just say like TikTok and all that type of thing died tomorrow, like we have a skill.
Yeah.
Like take away anything we've done in the past before the podcast. Like if we had only ever done the podcast, like we have a skill that we could still make a living off of. Whereas, and that skill is production.
Yeah.
Like we know about some tech stuff. Like we still produce everything that you guys listen to and or watch. Like, and we love doing it. It's so sick. It's the fucking sickest thing ever. But a lot of people like say just someone that's an influencer where their whole life is just like thinking of content, which props to them is not fucking easy. And then like doing it and doing the bit of editing and stuff like that. If it's a pretty simple type of page, if the fucking TikTok died, then
We'd still have skill set.
yeah.
And talking about manager as well, it also goes into the business side of things. So we hired a manager who was an independent, or you can go for an agency where a lot of people would see online where like there's big ones and a lot of influencers have in their bio their ... name, business name.
Yeah.
And they're an agency and they look for brand deals for said person and they put you forward because, so our manager is an independent, but she puts us forward. Hey, have you seen Jake and Oddie?
Yeah.
This is what they're about. This is their views and analytics.
Yeah.
Because it's just, at the end of the day, like it is a business still.
Yeah. And then now touching on business
Yeah.
is everyone thinks they're going to do everything properly, right?
Yeah.
I would like to point out I was one of those people. I thought we were going to do everything properly. I thought I had to have my head wrapped around it. But like, first off, like no one does anything for you. So like, please do your research if you're starting a business. Like I even found like our accountant, we obviously are going to make him money, but even he doesn't really tell you to do anything that's going to like kind of help you, if that makes sense.
No. You got a hint that you know what you're talking about.
But like one crazy thing that I told my dad the other day was I was just like, oh man, Oddie and I have this separate account in our, bank account for like the company, and that's where we put all our tax.
Yeah.
And we hate seeing it because it's just such a big number in there because you get taxed so much. Like we just feel like, we know it's not our money, but blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, that's crazy that you're doing that. Like you would be so surprised the amount of people that don't know to do that and don't do that.
Well, being relatable in 2023 or 24, whatever it is, OnlyFans models make a lot of money really quickly.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing if you blow up on social media or whatever. You make a lot of money really quickly and you spend it.
Yes.
And because you haven't set up like the key fundamentals of business. So it's sort of like being an entrepreneur in a way, which we just got chucked in.
Yeah, and you just figure it out.
Yeah, you make mistakes. You fuck up. You might have to pay an extra couple grand's tax here. You got to get fucking insurance. You got to do this.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, I didn't realize all these costs that you had to do.
And we're still like, I reckon we're barely surface level still, eh? Like, fucking sounds all so shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
I liked business in school and I'm enjoying learning about it and seeing the very, very, very intricate world you live in. But it's also, I think it's good if anyone wants to start out there because it's sort of just like putting yourself forward. And like when you're an employee, it's good and all and everything's done for you.
Yeah.
And you just get to see
It's
the
hectic.
money.
It's so good.
You see the money in your bank account and it's just a great thing. But if you want to go one step further and see where all the money goes, like we just got chucked in the deep end of that and you actually see where it's all going. You're like the funnels and avenues of all your money going everywhere. You're like, holy shit, like how can I get this money to stay in my account and not go to this person's account?
Oh, it's fucked.
Like legally, obviously.
All legally. But like, you just have to give your money to tax. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's funny, but honestly, takeaway of this is if you want to start social media, I think just do it.
Yeah, we say do it.
Make a fool of yourself. Because you don't know, at the end of the day, we're so appreciative of everybody listening right now. And we want to stay relatable. I remember starting this page that like I always wanted to like have a voice that people could relate to.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to become that person who's just like, oh fuck, he's got so many followers and now he just talks about fucking going to LA and fucking bitches.
Yeah, you know what's funny is when we started it and we called it relatable is I was always had in the back of my head like, what if we blow the fuck up and like, are you still considered relatable then? And I think that you can be.
Yeah, I think that you can be, especially like the weird thing about social media is you put people on a pedestal for some reason, or like not a pedestal. You think they're not real, or like you get excited to see them in public, which is all cool and all, but like they're still normal people.
Yeah, 100%.
And the good thing about us and our relationship is like we keep each other accountable.
Yeah, it's good. I feel like it's been good doing it with someone.
Yeah, like
you feel semi-obliged
like
to...
doesn't get to like, I still feel the same as I did day one. Nothing's got to my head. Like people come and get photos for us, which we're very appreciative of.
That's the fucking coolest
And
thing.
it's wild, but like nothing's, and I hope it never does. And I think I've got Jake there to keep me accountable. It's just like,
I reckon, if one of us started to get like a big head,
if, like,
one of us would say something for sure.
Yeah. Someone would keep it. I think that's why a lot of, you see in the industry, like the Sidemen is a good example in England, who are like a big successful YouTuber group. They're a big group of each other who keep each other accountable and give each other shit when they do dumb shit.
It's true. Yeah, they always do.
But if you're like an independent person who's blowing up, it's very easy to get caught up in the world of fucking, I'm the best.
Yeah.
But honestly, I hope that was a bit insightful.
Hopefully,
and that's what's going in the background for us. So we just wanted to talk about it and be relatable. Hopefully.
Fuck it. Like, true. Try our best at least. Alrighty, guys, we're going to finish off with a passage from How to Piss Men Off, as you guys know. What were we up to? I had to write down
how to
pages.
piss Carl Sanders off.
That would be true. Some of these might piss Carl Sanderlands off. Okay. So, say to a man, quote, "You're so frugal."
Ooh.
You know what frugal means?
Like detailed, doesn't it?
Nah, it means like cheap.
Oh, it's frugal and cheap.
Like cheapskate.
Okay.
Stingy.
Okay, yeah.
So say, "You're so frugal." This is a good trick to get a man to spend more money on you. The next time he's in line at Trader Joe's and sees that bouquet of flowers, he'll think, "Oh, I'll show you frugal."
Good point.
Genius, man.
Planting the seed.
It's genius.
We love to piss some men off. But
Oh, yeah.
thank you, everybody, for listening. We will see you on Wednesday.
See ya.
Love ya.